ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमः योगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ थर्ड वर्स। वाक्यार्थश्च विचार्यतां श्रुतिशिरः पक्षः समाश्रीयताम् दुस्तर्कात् सुविरम्यतां श्रुतिमतस्तर्कोऽनुसन्धीयताम्। ब्रह्मास्मीति विभाव्यतां हरहरर्गर्वः परित्यज्यताम्। देहेऽहं मतिरुच्यतां बुद्धजनैः वादः परित्यज्यताम्। So the fourth stage, in a present condition, the sannyasa, one who is committed to three things in a waking state is a sannyasi, irrespective of a formal, even he has not taken a formal sannyasa. He is a sannyasi who is committed to three things. First is shravanam. We are going to see all the three today. Second is a commitment to mananam, commitment to nididhyasana. In short, one is committed totally to the knowledge, gaining self-knowledge. Because other than the knowledge, if you want to accomplish something in the life, there is only one means, and that is karma. Whatever you want to accomplish, anywhere, here or out in the outer world, there are only two means. One is karma, one is gnana. Generally in the outer world, when you want to achieve something in terms of a material prosperity, etc., well, you need first gnanam. And after acquiring gnanam and skills, of course, one should work, karma. Here in this path, accomplishment is in terms of merely knowledge. Here also role of karma is there, but not in a combination. Not in combination. to acquire the basically qualification for the knowledge, you need to do karma with a certain attitude which will qualify you for gaining knowledge. And so here, the job of previous two ashramas is over. Both the ashramas have we can say it is karma. Grasthashrama, karma pradhana. Vanaprastha also karma pradhana, but manas karma, upasana. And so karma and upasana's job is over because they have served the purpose to give this person a certain thing. So karma yoga has given this person as a chitta shuddhi. Relatively, if your the role of karma is, Swami, how can we say the Grasthashrama has fulfilled its purpose? Can you say, Swami, in one line? Yeah. When your likes and dislikes do not bother you. That's it. There is no way that totally one's mind will be free from likes and dislikes. No. No. But your likes and dislikes do not bother you to fulfill them. Then you can say the role of Grasthashrama is over. Pujya Swamiji calls it as a non-binding desires. Desires, raga dvesha. But non-binding. It doesn't bound you. It doesn't bind you to fulfill them. It doesn't create a pressure within for fulfillment. If there is a pressure for fulfillment of the desires, Grasthashrama has not served the purpose. One has to be in that Grasthashrama. Means don't think that I'm telling to cross the fence. Please understand, I'm talking about the internal condition, not an external condition, which has no relevance. Today I told you everything. So the internal condition. Bhagavan calls this person who has a non-binding desire, Bhagavan calls him sannyasi. It's not my words. Gneyasya nitya sannyasi yona dveshti na kankshati. Bhagavan said in 5th chapter, initially only, this karma yogi, grasthashrami, is a sannyasi. Gneyeha, nitya sannyasi. This sannyasi, yes, he was not nitya sannyasi. He has at a particular day, he has taken the formal sannyasa. But that one, nitya sannyasi. And it seems that Bhagavan is in favor of a grasthashrama in many, many ways. We don't have now time to discuss. But I am purposely telling all this because all these things comes. Now we are going to discuss sannyasa and this gnanam and etc., etc. So I'm clarifying certain points. And so once the job of karma is over, giving you a relatively free from the hold of ragadvesha. So, I mean, is it possible to become free from the hold of ragadvesha? Yes. Yeah. Certain desires you are having, you don't think that they must be fulfilled. You must be having certain desires. If you fulfill, it's fine. If you don't fulfill, they are fine. You are fine. That kind of a situation should occur for most of the desires. Then there is the emotional maturity. Then the Grasthashrama's job is over. And then Vanaprastha means basically we saw also where it has been told Dradataram, Drada Bhaktihi Adhiyatam. Intense meditation, predominance of meditation. That's the life of a vanaprastha. Because even if ragadveshas are neutralized, well, still, one's mind keeps wandering. Need not be on the object of a desire. Need not be an object of liking or on the object of dislike. Still it keeps wandering. Then Vanaprastha is better, which will give you a focusing capacity. Chitta ekagrata. And when, well, you gain certain, this is all in relative measure. Everything in relative measure. Whatever we are talking, never, Veda provides you certain role models. But don't think that, everyone takes an example of a Nachiketa. And well, I should have a vairagyam of like of a Nachiketa when imported things, all stuff were offered and you just say, well, shobhavaha martyasya yadanta kaitat. What is that? Sarvendriyanam jarayanti tejaha. So, well, you keep it with yourself. Oh, Yamaraja, I don't want any imported stuff. I also, Swamiji, somebody should present to me or you present all imported stuff and I should be able to say, well, I don't want any of them. And then I can say, well, I'm adhikari of it. This will not be the case in future, okay? Relatively. All the qualifications are required in a relative measure. Then what about the other part? If I have a relative, means certain things still are there, certain obstacles are still there. They will become mithya by the gnana. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so here, now karma and upasana has completed its job. Grasthashrama and vanaprastha has completed its job. And now one thing is left, and that is gnana, which has three parts, shravanam, mananam and nididhyasana. And here Shankaracharya in the third verse briefly mentions about shravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam. The first line deals with the shravanam, second line deals with the mananam, third line with the nididhyasana. And now let us see what is this shravanam. Shravanam, the primary meaning, very immediate meaning is listening. But that's not correct. Shravanam is a technical word in a Vedanta. And the Upanishads, the statements of the Upanishad, which does not convey the teaching directly sometimes. I will give you an example. Explicitly, certain Upanishadic statements do not convey, most of them in fact. Do not convey the meaning directly. They are locked up. And you need a key to open them. And that key is called mimamsa. The meaning of the word mimamsa is a pujita vicharaha, a reverential vichara, analysis. Pujita. Puja dhatu means to revere. Pujita vichara, reverential analysis of the Vedic statements, of the Upanishadic statements. What is this reverential? With reverence. You do an analysis of the Upanishadic statements, especially Mahavakya, etc., or even other statements, with reverence, because it is Shastra Vakyam. Otherwise, vichara can be taken as a scrutiny. And where scrutiny, you may not have a reverence. Sometimes we scrutinize certain things, scrutinize somebody's statement, right? Even criminal statement also can be scrutinized. But here it is, mimamsa means pujita vichara. And it is needed because they are locked up. And it is exactly like a number lock. Lock is also there and the key also is right there. You just change the numbers. That's all. Exactly. I will give you an example. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it comes like this: Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma, Yoveda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman, and Sarvan Kaman Samashnudaiti, etc., etc. Brahma Vidapnoti Param. It starts from that section, starts from there. And then Tasmad Vai Tasmad Atmanaha Akasha Sambhutaha, Akashat Vayuhu, Vayoho Agnihi, Agnihi Apaha, Adbhyah Prithvi, Prithivyaha Oshadaya, Oshadibhya Annam, Annat Purushaha. Means the whole creation has come, all the 5 elements, which is the raw material of the whole creation, has come from this Brahman. The Brahman, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, which is nothing but it is of the nature of existence and limitless consciousness. From that Brahman, the whole creation has come. And then it says, that Brahman has entered into. Having created all these things, Brahman has entered into. Like having created this body, Brahman has entered into this body. What is this? Once you say this Brahman, which is limitless, right? And that limitless Brahman enters, is it possible? Akasha, which is limitless, enters to a particular place. Where it wants to enter, it is right there being limitless. And therefore, this statement does not make any sense. But Upanishad makes this statement. And whatever amount of a grammar, etc., or a amount of a logic, any logic you apply, this is an illogical statement. A limitless enters is an illogical thing. You can enter somewhere where you are previously not there. How can you limitless thing enter? So what is to be done? Bhashyakara has done that job. Bhashyakara has not taken a help of a Sanskrit, the rules of Sanskritam, etc., and try to twist the meaning of the words. No logic. Bhashyakara took the help of other Upanishadic statements and showed that entry is possible. Entry is possible. Here he explained, like the sun enters into a mirror. Sun enters into a mirror in the form of reflection. So same way, Brahman also enters into this person, into the mind of the person, manifest into the mind of the person as a jiva. And why Upanishad should talk like this? To prove ultimately that when this jiva, fortunately, if he is going to expose to the Shastra, that jiva will be told, you are Brahman, essentially. So this is how, right? When jiva will be told that, through Mahavakya, that you will be Brahman. Therefore, ultimately, with the other Upanishadic statements, the issue has been resolved. So we have to tie the different statements, and you will find that each statement will have a very beautiful meaning. It's a fantastic revelation. And as I told you, it's like a number lock system. Lock is also there in the system, and the key also is there in the system. Here also, the lock, the issue of this kind of a puzzle is there in the Upanishad, and solution also lies in the Upanishad. You have to take help of other statements. This is called Mimamsa. Properly analyzing the Vedic statements. And at time you take help of other Upanishadic statements also. So this is called shravanam. Now, they employ a particular method to do that. And that method is called Shadlinga Vichara. By which you arrive at the purport, the real meaning of the Upanishadic statement. And what are these Shadlinga? There is a karika-like thing. Upakrama upasamharo abhyaso apurvata phalam arthavado papattischa lingam tatparya nirnay. Tatparya nirnay means the purport of the Upanishadic statement. To arrive at the purport, the real meaning of the Upanishadic statement, which is nothing other than the identity between a jiva and Brahman. To do that, there are 6 lingas, 6 indicators are there in the Upanishad itself. Take help of that and arrive at the proper meaning. That is called shravanam. And first is upakrama upasamhara. Very beautiful. Summary at the beginning and at the end of the Upanishad gives you the purport of the Upanishad, the central message of the Upanishad. Like in the newsreader. Newsreader always reads certain headlines first, then in between all description, and at the end again headlines. Means you should understand that is the central message. Same way here, Upanishad begins with like several, we have less time now, but like Chandogya Upanishad discusses Sadeva Somedamagra Asit Ekameva Advityam, etc., etc. And it ends with Aitadatma Vidagam Sarvam Sa Atmas Tattvamasi Shvetaketu, etc. So ultimately begins with also one non-dual Brahman, Ekameva Advityam Brahma, ends also with that, and therefore the central message of the Upanishad is Jiva Brahmaikyam. There is no Jiva separate from the Ishvara, then the non-duality is not possible. Upanishad begins with Ekameva Advityam, there is no second thing at all other than Brahman. Brahman is one without second, and therefore Jiva Brahmaikyam is the central message. This is first Upakrama Upasamhara, what is said in the beginning, what is said at the end. You just look into the Upanishad, you will find the central message. This is one of the lingam. Second is Abhyasa. Well, definitely the topic that is repeated is a central message. Whenever you want to emphasize something, we repeat. Well, so Upanishad also wants to repeats certain thing. Means that is the central message. And what is repeated? Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. I told you 9 times. Not 1947 onwards. That thing is not 9 times. Okay, nobody wants to listen. People keep repeating the stories. That's not a good thing. But this here, Sa Atma Tattvamasi Shvetaketo, Sa Atma Tattvamasi Shvetaketo, with various examples. Therefore, Abhyasa is a second lingam to arrive at the purport of the Upanishad, which is non-dual Brahman. Non-dual Brahman is one without second, means you can tell that you are Brahman, I can tell I am Brahman, right? That's how it is. Apurvata, third. This is a technical clue, but very important. The purpose of Vedanta is to teach you something which you have never come across through any other means of knowledge. Vedanta talks about Brahman, non-dual Brahman. Oh, Swamiji, I saw non-dual Brahman one day in morning in a meditation, etc. That's impossible. So Shastra gains a status of a pramana, means of knowledge. Any means of reveals something which is unique. To see colors, you don't, not only you, no one has any other means other than eyes. No one. No one. To see colors and eyes, you require only eyes. For a sound, only ears. That's called apurvata. Uniqueness of every pramana, means of knowledge, to gain a specific knowledge. Same way Shastra also means of knowledge. It should give you a knowledge of something which you have never come across through other means of knowledge. That is, well, regarding Brahman, we gain it from the Shastra alone, Advaitam Brahman. So Advaitam is the central topic. Jivishvara Aikyam, Jiva Brahma Aikyam is the central topic. This is the third. Fourth is Phalam. A new knowledge that is revealed by the Shastra should tell us what is the advantage. Otherwise we don't want. Yeah, naturally. Why should we, your Brahman, let you keep it with yourself? We don't want. What's the benefit? Everyone is, whether one knows or not, at least one feels that one will gain a certain benefit by attending Vedanta class, at least this much. Sometimes we may not be clear what is this moksha, etc. But this much is there. Some benefit will gain by attending a shibi, this camp, etc. That kind of a thing. So phalam has to be told by Upanishad. When Upanishad says, well, there is Advaita Jnanam, then it should talk about the result. So, and well, it talks about the unique benefit, and that is freedom. That's freedom. And the freedom that is not freedom gain as a citizen, etc. That freedom, still you are bound by several things, right? Bound by several things. Any free citizen also in a democratic country never says that I am free, right? You always, Swamiji, you are free, but we are not. So that is the thing. So this is, all the time we feel a bondage. This jnani will never say the I is bound. Centered on oneself, he experiences freedom all the time because that he understands his own nature. Whatever you do, you can't remove the nature. What is incidental, you can remove. What is intrinsic, you can never remove. And this is your intrinsic freedom. It's your nature. Even Jnani feels that no, I have enjoyed freedom too much. Now let me, get bound somewhere. I don't think, but suppose. Even we say like that, he gains a peace. Even if he wants a certain disturbance, he will not be able to gain the disturbance. Because the very silence is the nature of Atma. The consciousness which is free from all the sounds illumines all the sounds. The silence is one's own nature. So the peace which you acquire at the level of a mind, etc., comes and goes. It's incidental. But once you understand that I am the peace, Shantam Shivam Advaitam Chaturtham Manyate Sa Atma Sa Vigneha. Shantam, Shivam, Advaitam, Chaturtham Manyante. Mandukya Upanishad says, you are silence. That's how you are able to illuminate all the sounds. Because you are free from the sounds. If I have a certain sound of my own, then I cannot illuminate the sounds because it will be mingling with the other sounds. When I can illuminate all the sounds, that I am basically free from the sound. The silence is my nature. Now if you know this clearly, and now silence means you are peace by nature. Now you want a disturbance, you can't. That's how we say, what you want to acquire in your life is yourself. The seeker is the sought. That's the thing. The seeker is the sought. The 10th man is a seeker of the 10th man, and he is the 10th man. That's how it is. What you want to acquire is not available in the world. What you want to acquire is just yourself. That's what it is. The fullness, etc., also is yourself. Anyway, so this is phalam. Very beautiful, very lucrative. Wow. Arthavadaha. Identify what is praised in the Vedanta, what is criticized in the Vedanta. Oh, fine. And this maniness is criticized. Yahiya nana iva pashyati. Mrutyosya mrityu mapnoti yahiya nana iva pashyati. Yamadharmaraja says, I give a capital punishment. My God. Mrityu danda. Yeah, mrutyosya mrityu mapnoti. This jiva, this samsari who is ignorant, travels from death to death. Means capital punishment. No, Swamiji. It's not, this is not the way to tell. From birth to birth. From the second moment onwards after a birth, it's a journey towards what? Everything which is within the fold of time is constantly rushing to the death. In fact, need not be at the end. Every moment, it's a change. The previous thing dies. That's what change is. Previous moment, what was there has gone. Next moment, what you are will go in the next moment. Constant change. That's what Jagat is. Jayate gacchati iti Jagat, which is born and which goes. Born, gone, including time. including time. Kalayati iti kalaha, that's how they say. Kalayati, ganayati. You can count in terms of microsecond, picosecond, whatever you want to count. But it is going constantly. The time itself is going, kalo jagat bhakshakaha. And whatever is bound by the time, whatever is within the realm of the time also. And therefore, you should know something which is timeless. Then you are free from death. You should know something. And that is the subject. Other than you, everything which you experience as object, available for objectification, is within the fold of time. Anyway, so this is how it has been criticized. Here, gnana iva pashyati. Gnana means manyness, dvaitam, duality. Well, then definitely he gains a capital punishment. And so central message of the Upanishad, etc. is Advaitam, because that is praised also. One who gains knowledge also is praised. Not the gnanam is praised in an indirect manner. That's how Bhagavan praises Sthita Prajna, Jnani, several places, not just second chapter. In the 12th chapter also Bhagavan sings the glory of this wise person. 13th chapter also. Anyway, so this is the fifth one, to understand the central message of the Upanishad. And lastly, Upapattihi means what? This particular division of non-duality, etc., should be supported by the logic, etc. And that logic is always in keeping with the Shastra. In fact, Shastra and the teacher provides you the logic to arrive at the purport of the Upanishad, which is Advaitam. How Advaitam is Mithya, how Advaitam is Satyam, has been proven, not proven, but has been supported by the logic. And so with the help of these 6 lingas, well, one understands the purport of the Upanishad is called shravanam. And to understand this purport through this linga, one requires a systematic study of the scriptures with a traditional teacher, etc. And then you can understand this. So, why it should be done? Because the Upanishad basically have been interpreted by other acharyas, and they have arrived at with a different message. And that is how we are obliged to, in fact, to understand the purport of the Shastra. Like Ramanujacharya, he has also analyzed the same Shastra, and he says something else. And that is, it's almost like that, the whole creation and this jiva are non-separate from Brahman, Narayana, but the Narayana is independent of that, etc., etc. There is no a clean, a identity between jiva and Brahman. There is no identity between Jagat and Brahman. They are non-separate, and at the same time, Brahman is separate from this also. So Dvaita, Advaitavada also, this kind of a thing. They give an example also. Like a state is non-separate from the country, but country is country. Country cannot be called state. Like that, they give some example. But anyway, so they give a different message. They analyze in their own way and give different Vishishta Advaitam, etc. Somebody says, duality is a purport of the Shastra, etc. And therefore, we have to analyze those statements, and that's a part of shravanam. And that's what here Shankaracharya said, Vakyarthascha vicharyatam shrutishirah pakshah samasriyatam. So one should analyze the meaning of the sentences, Mahavakya of the Vedanta. Shruti Shiraha means Vedanta. Shruti means Veda, Shiraha means Antaha. So, and Shruti Shirah Pakshah Samasriyatam Vakyarthascha Vicharyatam. Vicharyatam means analyze. And you can arrive at the purport of that. And always be on the side of the Vedanta Vakyas. That's what he says. Shruti Shiraha Pakshaha. Shruti Shira means Vedanta. Paksha means on the side of. Samasriyatam. You always stay with the vision of the Upanishad. Don't go against by doing independent tarka, etc. also. Okay, this is one. Then second is mananam. It's a second stage of inquiry. Because when you gain a knowledge and in fact you get involved into the study, many doubts come. And here doubts are not an ordinary doubts. Not a single doubt is an ordinary. And if any knowledge is basically is fraught with the doubts, it is not a knowledge. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, I want to take a walk in the morning at 6 o'clock in the ashram. Would you be able to tell me, do the bears take a visit here? Well, I'm almost 95% sure that bears do not come. And when I said 95%, he should take it. But next day I don't find the person moving in 6 o'clock in the morning. That 5%. So even though I have given an information, but it is probability, etc., well, then it is not a knowledge. If some wire is falling here, electric wire, if I ask you whether it's a live wire or not, Swamiji, almost 99% I'm sure it is not a live wire. Why 99? Say 100%, then I will put a leg on that. But no, 99% means I will remain away. Any knowledge which you require is fraught with a doubt. It is not a knowledge. So shravanam gives the knowledge, analysis of Upanishadic statement, etc., knowledge of Jiva Brahma Aikyam, etc. But then conviction is not there. So conviction comes only when you resolve the doubts. And I said you in Vedanta, the doubts are extraordinary. And it takes a long to resolve the doubt. Doubts pertaining to what, Swamiji? Doubts pertaining to the person? No. Doubts pertaining to three things. Doubts pertaining to Jiva, doubts pertaining to Ishvara, doubts pertaining to this Jagat. That's what has been revealed. All the three are basically essentially one. And it is not easy to swallow the fundamental teaching that I am infinite, this Jiva. Well, I am certain of the fact that, I am born at a certain time, and I will grow old. Eventually, one day I will go. And such a knowledge about Jiva myself I have, and I prepare for my old age, and etc., etc. I have, prepare for my old age, prepare for my children. All this is there. And Shastra says you have never got a birth. You are never going to die. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam purana. So, you have never taken na jayate mriyate va kadachit. That's better. Na jayate na mriyate. You never die. I am subject to death. I have prepared myself for the death, etc. I have taken birth. I have birth date. No. Big doubt. Pertaining to Jiva, I have a big doubt. When Shastra says you are free from birth and death, where I experience all the time, not only about me, about others also, they are born and they are going, everything. And Shastra says this, big doubt, extraordinary doubt. Then, Vedanta says regarding world also, it's also an extraordinary doubt we have, which will create. That what you are experiencing as a solid creation does not exist at all. What these pagal people, what are they saying? What are they saying about this creation? And what you don't experience is a reality. That's another thing. What you experience is not real, and what you don't experience, Brahman, I never experienced Brahman. They say you are Brahman, you are Brahman, you are Brahman. I never experienced any Brahman. And they said that is the reality. It is the only reality. That is the thing. Kya baat hai? What are they talking? So regarding Jagat, regarding Brahman, I have a doubt. Regarding Ishvara, from that standpoint also we can say. Regarding Ishvara also doubt. They say you and Brahman or you and Ishvara are ultimately one, essentially one. Hey, how it is possible? I am having a little knowledge and he is all knowledge. I am having a little power, he is all power. And I am the one who is all the time begging to him to give me goody things, right? And he is the one who is giver. And they say they are one. What are they talking? So the doubts are extraordinary doubts. Simple doubt, we may inquire something and go. Behavior of certain person, etc. You inquire further and it will resolve. These doubts will not resolve. And they will be confirmed by others also, that what you are saying is true. Means what we are believing also is true, because everybody is in the same boat. Everyone feels that I am bound. Everyone feels that I am born. So where will you go to resolve the doubt? Extraordinary doubts. And all the instruments of knowledge what we have reveal Dvaitam, duality. And well, definitely, while Vedanta asserts non-duality, Dvaitam mithya, and non-duality is the real. So there is a big clash between two sources of knowledge. One is through senses, duality. Through Shastra, other means of knowledge, non-duality. You can tell me, I need not have to tell a further statement, to which means of knowledge you give the weightage. What is available through the senses? What is available in the perception? You give a weightage. You won't give weightage to the words. I don't know how they say like that you are non-dual, etc. But this Rishi somewhere in the past has said, who knows in what manner, in which phase of their mind they might have told all these things. Purnamadah purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavashishyati. You are whole and this is whole and that is whole, and from whole is subtracted and whole remains. Hey, what is this statement? What are? And the very first statement in the Upanishad. And they say you should study Upanishad. Very first. Upanishad Ishavas. Ishakena Katha Prashna Mundak Manduk. Ishavas is first Upanishad. You open the first page. And the very first mantra, Purnamadah Purnavidam Purnat Purnavidam. Enough. Enough. Enough is enough. What is perceived, everyone will give weightage. Whole world, including the courts. You won't give weightage to words of the Shastra, the Rishis, who have spoken quite, before millions of years, etc. Let's say that way. And so, this is also a doubt. Anyway, and this can be resolved well with the help of the Shruti. Shruti and teacher combined together gives you a logic to resolve how Dvaitam is Mithya, Advaitam is Satyam, etc. So Shankaracharya says, Dustarkat Suviramyatam. Well, definitely, may you completely avoid this wrong logic. Wrong means independent logic. Take help of the logic which has been given by the teacher or a Shastra. Same thing it is. So, Dustarkat Suviramyatam Shrutimatas Tarko Nusandhiyatam. Shrutimatas Tarkaha. Shruti reveals Advaitam is Satyam, Dvaitam is Mithya. For that they give a logic. We call Anukula Tarkaha. Shruti Sammata Tarkaha. Anusandhiyatam. So, well, definitely you can follow to gain the clarity, etc. The logic given by the Shruti. And so, many people think very erroneously that, the scriptural teaching, etc., well, must be proven by some extraordinary experiences, etc. Well, no experience can remove this intellectual problem. All intellectual problems are born of non-thinking or improper thinking. And therefore, they can be solved only by the right thinking. And so you have to analyze again and again the statements of the Shruti with the logic the Shruti and the teacher provides you, and then you can understand clearly that this Advaitam is Satyam and Dvaitam which is perceived is mithya. Mithya means, right now there is no time to discuss. But mithya means what is experientially available but not true. That's called mithya. Experientially available but not reality. Is there anything like that? Whole creation is like that. Whole creation. Start from blue ocean, blue sky, sunrise, everything. Twinkle stars, everything. Everything is like that. Blue ocean is not blue ocean even though you experience. Blue sky is not blue sky even though you experience. Sunrise is there is no sunrise even though you experience. This is called mithya. So you experience this duality, but that's not reality. So unless you analyze further into all these names and forms, till then it is real. When you analyze, you will find there is one thing which is manifested in all these forms, etc. And the last one is a nididhyasana. And the central objective of nididhyasana is dwelling on the teaching and assimilating. Means the knowledge you have now, conviction you have, then it should give you benefit. No. No benefit. You don't feel that you are free. Even though you have a conviction that yes, what Shastra says is right. Jeev, Jagat, Ishwar, etc. Everything is ultimately one non-dual Brahman, etc. That's true. But you don't have benefit because some obstacle is present. That obstacle is removed by nididhyasana. Jnanam converts to jnana phalam by nididhyasana. It's a called process of internalizing the teaching, like soaking in the syrup, rasgulla, gulab jambu, we soak for some hours. Then totally it is assimilated. Same way here, this nididhyasana is also. You soak your mind in this syrup of the teaching. Yeah. Stay with the teaching. To stay with the teaching, there are methods. That's called nididhyasana. So how many methods are there? 2 methods I will tell you. First is through repeated shravanam. Mind can remain in the teaching. Then mind will absorb the teaching, assimilate the teaching, which will turn into a result of the knowledge. So initially you get new ideas through shravanam, etc. But when you listen to this teaching repeatedly, you do not get new ideas, but you get an opportunity to remain with the teaching. So anyway, in many ways you can do. Just I have told you shravanam, you can write notes. You can discuss with someone else. You can teach someone else. You can victimize somebody. And you can victimize. Like I have victimized you right now. Invite for a tea and breakfast, and then slowly open the topic. And see his face, or her face, whatever. If he sustains your words, you have a big opportunity then. Again invite. Yeah, I'm telling you. There may be other means in a fertile brain, but teaching, sharing, writing notes, listening, all are there to assimilate the teaching, to stay with the teaching. Which definitely helps you for assimilation. And the second is a traditional form of meditation. It is practiced in a specific place, in a specific posture. You sit and do Atma Dhyanam, etc. And this kind of an exercise is called Samadhi Abhyasa, which we'll be talking in the next class. So Samadhi Abhyasa, Samadhi means a focus. You focus on the self. Abhyasa, it's exercise. So focus is not here on Brahman. Focus is on a certain aspect of the self or Brahman, which bothers you. That is very important. So like if you feel a lack within yourself all the time, you meditate that you really do not lack anything. That's a reality. Means you are Purnam, etc. Or if you have a fear of death, etc. You should focus on that you are basically timeless, you are nitya, etc. If relationships are a problem, you can focus on asangatvam. Atma is one which has no relation with anything. That's what they say. I have no mata and no pita and this and that and no guru and, right, no shishya, this, that. So, asangatvam. So these are the various aspects of same self. Well, you meditate, sitting in a particular posture, particular place, and using certain asanam and the condition of a mind, condition of the senses, condition of the intellect, and that kind of nididhyasana, traditional form of nididhyasana. And you choose and focus on the self to internalize. This is called nididhyasana. And purpose of nididhyasana is not moksha. Please understand that. Through the teaching we have understood that moksha is my nature. It's not a future event to happen. It is to remind ourselves that a change in situation will definitely not make me free, because I am already free despite the situation. So it is for assimilation only. The same teaching that I am free, but I don't feel that I am free. Okay, there is an obstacle. Okay, there is an obstacle. Even though the reality is you are free. You are Brahman means you are free. But I don't feel that I am free. Then there is an obstacle. Then nididhyasana is a solution. When you enjoy the freedom, then once you sit, gain some more clarity regarding your own nature, then you are moksha, muktaha, and now you claim that yes, I am free. Right? So this is ultimately the gnana yoga culminates into nididhyasanam. And Bhashyakara says few things. Bhashyakara, I use this word somehow, Bhashyakara. Shankaracharya ji says here, Brahmaivasmi vibhavyatam. All the time think. Nididhyasanam. All the time. I am Brahman, etc., etc. And aharaha garvah parityajyatam. Ahaha. Daily. Garvaha. Because you must have seen that this kind of thing may arise. So make sure that you don't become arrogant. Because of this knowledge you are gaining, never make yourself very arrogant. May you constantly remove. Well, be alert. If garva, etc., arrogance is arising, well, neutralize it. Dehe ahammatihi ujjayatam. Dehe ahammati ujjayatam means you give up the notion that I am the body, etc. Buddha janaihi vadah parityajyatam. May you completely cease from entering into arguments with the wise people. Never argue with the wise people, etc. Definitely you present your doubts, they will answer you, but don't challenge them. Because they have knowledge, and therefore this kind of a certain general instructions also he gives. And fourth verse, definitely gives a certain more instruction which are complementary for nididhyasana. Kshudvyadishcha chikitsatam pratidinam bhikshaushadam bhujyatam. Well, may you treat the disease of hunger daily by taking the medicine of bhiksha, food. Swadu annam natu yachyatam. May you not ask for the delicious dessert. Vidivashat praptena santushyatam. May you be satisfied with whatever comes vidivashat, comes by prarabdha. Shitoshnadi vishahyatam. May you put up with the pairs of opposite experiences like heat, cold, etc. Nathu vrutha vakyam samucharyatam. May you not utter a single word without necessity. This is in Shastra somewhere else also. It has been told several places. So, we should not, open the mouth unless it is necessary. Some people don't open mouth even there is a necessity also, but that's a different thing. Anyway, audasinyam abhipsatam. Don't join any groups. There are groups everywhere. Anywhere you go, people will try to pull you also in particular group. They will, one tries to pull this way, other. Don't join to any groups. Janakrupa naishturyam utsrujyatam. Janakrupa. So basically, if somebody treats you well, say thanks to him. I should not tell you because here it is told. And thanks to God. And forget there and then. That's what it means. Or somebody treats you well, ill, somebody treats you in a ill manner. Well, forgive. There and then. That's what it means. That's what it means. So, don't develop a clinging to anybody. That's it. Somebody praises you, thanks. To him, thanks to Ishvara also. There is a beautiful sentence. When somebody praises you, you tell slowly, I will tell. I will pass on this message to somebody. I will pass on this message to somebody. And that is Ishvara, ultimately. Right? And therefore, don't keep with you. So, when Swami told that somebody was, doing a pada puja, etc. So they say they are not worshipping your feet, etc. They are pulling your legs. So means if you feel that they are worshipping you, you are already pulled. Anyway, Jana Krupa Naishturyam. Naishturyam, ill behavior. Krupa, praise. Utsrujyatam. Well, don't have a clinging attitude. And then, 5th verse is regarding again nididhyasana. You sit in a particular place, particular posture, etc. and meditate. This is how Sadhana Panchakam is. Okay? So, with this we'll have completed this Sadhana Panchakam. We'll have another class after half an hour. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.